what did you think of the whatever
they
rental
call
car 500? Yeah,
Yeah.
United rental 312 what 400
500 probably.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Only race with laps different than the miles.
No, it's
basically
not even true.
every mile and a half is.
Well, this weekend it was.
Martinsville.
Yeah, it's
Bristol.
true.
Martinsville
Yeah,
and
run the
Bristol both
1,000
have
laps.
500 laps, and they call it a 500.
It's some bull crap. I'm telling you, I'm protesting.
Wait, what? Huh?
Protest.
Wait, no, I'm so confused. I don't know math.
He said different name than lap sled. I'm saying that mile and a halves all have different laps than the name.
Oh yeah. Wait, what are you trying to say, Caleb? Hold on, Caleb. Don't you? Are you supposed to be like smart?
I don't know. My name's Haley for the night, so I really don't know what I'm doing.
Oh my god! I'm telling you said that.
I beat my ass.
Yeah.
Continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. This is great. So what was the question?
The question was the race. What'd you think of the race?
Yeah,
I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh, okay.
I thought the race was an improvement over last year's both Phoenix races because they sucked.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't a great race, I don't think, but I genuinely think it's just because they kind of ruined Phoenix about 10 years ago. So I don't think any package is really going to race fantastic at Phoenix. That's just me. Or it's not just me, but that's me saying it. I don't know. Definitely. I'm looking forward to this at Martinsville for sure. I think this is going to be a solid improvement over the old package.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it was a quintessential Phoenix race for me. Like I saw a lot of people freaking out because they're like, oh, they made all these changes and it didn't change. I'm like, yeah, well, we saw a Phoenix race that we saw in 2006, which was apparently the heyday of NASCAR or whatever people like to say. I mean, McMurray said it best. We haven't seen a good race at Phoenix since 1988. And I don't even know if that was actually a good race. I think it was just because of the Polish victory that Kawicki did. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was definitely a lot better than last year.
Yeah,
for sure. It was. I mean, even if you saw guys slipping and sliding. Alex Bowman made us one of the best saves I've seen in a long time that William Byron definitely couldn't have made. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's. I think the package worked. I mean, bring back old Phoenix though. I think I said it on the Garage Guy. I was on the Garage Guys Action Network. No, what is it? Playback stream for the race, and I was one of the booth mates there, and I asked them. I was like, do we think the cutting down to the apron is gimmicky? And they're like, no, it's great. And I think it's probably one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. I'm over it. I'm over the cutting to the apron. Like, I don't know. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, on that note, I had a buddy a guy from my unit, he's from Puerto Rico. It was his first race experience Friday night, and he brings his wife out. I have Haley with me, and, we have our headsets on. We're watching the race, and the first experience he gets is the car is diving way below the line, the sparks, the chassis scraping the ground. He's like, what is this? He's like, I don't understand. He's like, anything I've seen on TV, it's just like, you follow above the line, you follow the street walls. I'm like, it's such a unwritten rule. But it adds variety. It adds an element of unknown into turn one, just the way the cars fan out. And I think Larson said it on the radio this morning on Sirius XM 90. He said that it felt like he was running one lane the entire race, where Kevin Harvick felt like he can run multiple lanes. But I didn't know, maybe with this package, Larson was afraid to experiment with a lot of the tire fall-off issues they were having. But Harvick was completely fine running the top, and on the long runs, it was evident that he had a very long-run car. I think each driver had a different experience, and they were afraid to test things out. But just alone on that front straightaway, it's like, I don't know. It's very chaotic, and it's been that way for years. Hopefully they do away with it or come up with some other idea at some point.
Yeah, I'm almost to the point with the dog leg now. I wouldn't mind if they just put whatever those strips are they do at France, the F1 circuit, the blue and red stripes they do that They're like rumble strips, I guess.
I've never been to France.
Turtles.
No, not the turtles. It's like
the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost
fuck it. Put turtles.
Put some turtles.
Michael McDowell would launch over that immediately.
Well, they ain't got grandstands down into one anyway, so it'd be fun.
That's true. But you brought up
he'd end up back in his hometown.
You brought up Harvick versus Larson. I thought that probably was the most interesting part of the race because Larson's team was like, it seemed like they were just too timid to like change the car at all. And Harvick's team, they started back and they had to work on it a little bit. So they were taking big swings at it and it kept working. I texted you this, buddy, during a race. I was like, I love Cliff Daniels. Dude is way too conservative. He doesn't make enough changes when they're in the lead, and he will not call Kyle to the pit lane during green flag pit stops soon enough. I was sitting there screaming at the TV. I'm like, do not let the 4 beat you to pit road. You are going to lose the race if you do that. And sure enough, they got beat by a lap and then didn't make any adjustments.
And that's one thing, like Rodney Childers, I feel like is the same way, not necessarily conservative with adjustments, but more of conservative with when he's pitting. They always seem to be mid-pack as far as when they decide to pit. But yeah, I mean, here's one thing. I think the race actually would have been better without stage cautions. Wild concept, I know. But it seemed like at the end of the stage was when everyone was kind of coming closer together. And by the time you got to the end of the stage, because it seemed like Larson was at Byron's bumper almost, or getting there at the end of the first stage, right? He won the first stage, right?
Yeah, Byron won the first stage.
And then it was vice versa in the next stage. And, we finally got that long run and we actually saw a pass for the lead. But I mean, there's passing throughout the entire field too. And I will give Fox this. I saw a lot of the passing. I'll give them that. I actually saw passing. Yeah.
Hey, if we want to talk, oh no, you want to talk?
What? Go ahead.
Okay. If we want to talk about Fox real quick, obviously Caleb, you didn't experience Fox. You're lucky. But I didn't think the coverage.
Danica was looking hot as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie, bro.
Oh yeah, that
Liquid 5 Cs.
They were giving her. Somebody was giving her shit about the drive. I thought it was great. I thought she looked amazing. Maybe, I mean, go ahead.
It's not relevant. It's not relevant. We already know Danica's kind of hot. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So their actual coverage, I didn't think was terrible. The commercials, whatever. If we can't do anything about the commercials, it is what it is. What I'm sick to death of with Fox is cutting to a graphic and cutting completely away from the race while they're broadcasting during the green flag. That drives me up the fucking wall. We did not need to go to the Ford cutaway car or Toyota cutaway car, whatever the hell. We didn't need to do that. We didn't need to have a graphic on Stuart Haas Racing with like 50 to go or whatever it was. We didn't need to do a crank it up when the battle for the lead is right there within half a second.
Yeah.
And Harvick's been reeling him in. Like, that's just, they don't make smart decisions. It's like they're not paying attention to the race ever.
They don't think straightly. I think as Denny Hamlin says.
I'm sure they got a button that has the Whopper commercial ready to go, though. I tell you what, it's just moments. They find the most key parts to a race. You're like, you know what? A Whopper commercial would be perfect right now.
Oh, man. Dude, I mean, what's sad is, like, that's not even, like, far. That's not even, like, untrue. That's
it's evident. If it happened when Earnhardt died, they would have cut to a Whopper commercial. It would have been quick, but you come right back to DW finishing those old sayings that he'd say. But it would be a cutaway and that big juicy cheeseburger. I'd already be in my car. I'd find out Earnhardt passed away on the radio because I'd be on the way to Burger King. True story.
So you see some passing out there, Caleb?
Saw a lot of passing.
Okay, all right. Just making sure. Just making sure you saw what we saw on TV. I want to know. Okay, so we'll get right into the thing. Raise your hand if you were pulling for Kevin Harvick at the end of that race. Oh yeah, I guess you weren't. I was sitting there. I was like, Really, Seth? You weren't pulling for? I forgot it was
No.
Kyle. Yeah, everybody on the Garage Guys broadcast was pulling for Kevin.